Hello everyone, welcome to the world of Unacademy. We are the India's largest learning platform, guys. We have got UPSC CSE top educators in India, and these images, the names, guys, huh? And please join Unacademy subscription for Plus and Iconic. You get flat 10% off. The details are actually given over here. Also, you can avail combo subscription, right? Use the code YTUPSE and you would get 10% discount. Guys, Unacademy optional subscription is also available. You have a flat 10% discount with that also. You have to use the same code. Now, November extension offer, this is an amazing offer. 9 months, you get 2 months free. 12 months you get 3 months free, 18 months you get 6 months free, and 24 months plus CSC assured. Amazing offer, right guys? And guys, the batch has already started, right? Ultimate batch for UPSC CSE 2023. You know the educators, you know the results. Kindly come and join. And yes, don't let CSAT block your selection. And I have been very vocal about it. Why? Because I myself am a CSAT educator. So I understand that, the paper has become very tough. If you check out the paper since the inception till 2022, sea changes. So a lot of time I realized that, the dialogue, sir, GS to ho gaya, CSAT nahi hua. The dialogue should not be there. You should not be wasting a year. All right. So please come and join the CSAT batches, all of you. And yes, the IAS officer has been revealed. Right, guys? Mr. Gaurav Budania. So you can check him out, right? And now nothing can actually stop you from chasing your UPSC CSE dream because we have come with EMI options. That's amazing, isn't it? So please contact this number 8585858585 and avail these options. Guys, my name is Rishi Bhargava, MSc in Maths, MPhil in Maths, MBA in Marketing, and I am your CSAT educator, right? So I sincerely believe that this CSAT paper is equivalent to kind of CAT paper, right? So today we are going to discuss very basics of numbers, right? So please follow me on my Telegram channel. Rishi Sir UPSC is my Telegram channel. My community is Bhargava Rish. Stay connected. All right. So let's crack CSAT together, right? And today's discussion would actually be on numbers, right? What exactly are numbers? So I am going to do a lot of storytelling over here so that you really enjoy it. And I feel really sad also that most of you actually don't exactly know what numbers are. So I'm going to give you very basic of numbers and a lot of competitive exam questions. So I hope that you're going to enjoy this topic. Now let's talk about number system, right? What exactly is number system? Number system as our solar system is actually really amazing, right? And I'm not going to talk about number system directly. I'm going to talk about the necessity of the numbers, right? Why we required numbers and how these numbers actually came into our use, right? For example, the first part of number system is natural numbers, right? And whenever in classes we ask student what are natural numbers, the general answer is 1 to infinity, which is actually wrong, right? Natural numbers are 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 right? All counting numbers, see, now listen, humans, they were animals. Kind of animals, come on. If you talk about animals, you cannot actually segregate that humans are not animals. We all are animals, right? So we started settling down. And once we started settling down, we started building homes, we started having families. So someone is having a family, and someone is having kids. So at least, yeah, come on, right? He needs to know how many kids, right? Un, dos, tres, ek, do, teen, char, 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically, basic counting numbers, right? So how many kids I have, how many kettles I have, how many sheep I have, how many dogs I have, how many wives. Oh, come on, no, right? So exactly, you understand that basic counting numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Point number 1, point number 2, point number 3, point number 4, right? So basic counting. So you don't say 1 to infinity, because it would actually involve fractions also, right? So you say all counting numbers, and that's the reason they are represented by this curly bracket. Curly bracket represents a set, and they are actually separated by commas, which means they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, not 1 to infinity, because if I write 1 to infinity, it will involve all numbers between 1 to infinity, fractions as well, right? So now natural numbers, I say basic counting numbers. Basic counting numbers. Natural numbers, basic counting numbers. And then comes whole numbers. Whole numbers. And many of you are good students, and you know who invented zero? Aryabhatta. But you just don't know how important is zero, right? Because as per as counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then you required a 10, which required a 0, right? So you understand 0 is important. 100 requires a 0, 20 requires a 0, 30 requires a 0, which means that was an amazing invention. So whole numbers, 0 you add in natural numbers, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till infinity. This is a set of whole numbers. This is a set of whole numbers, right? 0 is beautiful. Why 0 was required? A lot of time we ask why 0 was required. Because you want zeros in your salary, as many zeros in your salary. Nobody talks about increment of nines in the salary. Rather talking about 1000, why don't you talk about 999? Is just one less than 1000, right? But it appears to be a 3-digit number. So you want a 7-digit salary. Why not a 6-digit salary? 999999. But sir, 7-digit salary can actually be 9, right? So you replace that 1000000 by 9000000. So it becomes a 7-digit high salary, isn't it? So I understand, right? But 0 is important. 0 represents something that does not exist anymore, isn't it? Why 0 was required? So somebody had 4 sheep, flood came, all 4 sheep were wiped out with the flood. How many sheep are left? Nothing is left. So 0 actually represents something called nothing. Something called nothing. All right. So there was a requirement of something that represents nothing. It was 0. I hope now I have a clearer sense, isn't it? Now I have a clearer sense. So 0 is important. Now there are a lot of problems with 0, right? So I'm just today giving you a beautiful aspect of 0. First important point, right? 0 is neither even nor odd. Kindly mark it. Somewhere down the line I heard that 0 is a even number. Wrong. 0 is neither even nor odd, right? Point number 2. 0 is neither positive nor negative, right? This is again important. 0 has no sign, right? It's not a positive number, it's not a negative number, right? Third, 0 is a multiple of every number. 0 is a multiple of every number. Sir, is 0 a multiple of 7? I say yes. 0 can actually be written as 0 is written as 7 into 0. 0 is written as 11 into 0. 0 is written as 27 into 0. So 0 is a multiple of every number, right? 0 is a multiple of every number, right? And then the best part, 0 does not divide, isn't it? Anything divided by 0, anything divided by 0 is non-determinate. Now you may say infinite, right? That is what we have learned in our junior classes, but since you are all preparing for UPSC, we call it indeterminate, right? Something that cannot be determined. So don't you think 0 actually is amazing? Somebody who called you 0 someday in your life, you should go and thank him or her. Why? Listen, now listen, don't you think with these properties, right, 0 becomes God? Listen, God is neither man or a woman, even odd. Huh? God is neither black or white, positive or negative. No rang bhed. Okay? Right? No rang bhed. Then 0 is a multiple of every number. God exists everywhere. God exists everywhere. Keep this thing in mind. Right? Maths is important. Numbers are important. Right? And the last one, 0 does not divide. God does not divide us. So from today onwards, if somebody calls you a 0, say thank you so much. Right? Because 0 is amazing, right? So please, I hope that you have made a note of this. This is something amazing and important, right, guys? Nobody talked about 0 so good, huh? Good. All right. So we know naturals, counting numbers, we know whole numbers, 0 included in natural numbers. Now what do we require? You know, as our civilization started growing, you know, vices started going, bad habits, buri aadate, right? So, you know, you understand negatives were required, isn't it? Now we were talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, no negative involved. So vices, बुरी आदतें negative होते हैं, ठीक है कि नहीं? So now let's talk about someone like, you know, people started playing cards, people starting betting. So somebody who lost a bet, suppose somebody lost a bet, suppose this guy had 4 sheep and he bet 7 sheep. He was very sure, you know, he is going to have 11, right? So he had 4 sheep, he bet 7 sheep and he lost. So how many sheep does he have now? So it is basically 4 minus 7, which is minus of 3. So negative numbers were actually required, right? So here comes negatives, integers. So most of the students talk negatives, integers as minus infinity to infinity, which is again wrong, right? Minus infinity to infinity is all numbers, right? So what are integers, guys? Integers are basically minus infinity to minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till infinity. All counting numbers, 0 and negative of the counting numbers, right? Now, important thing to keep in mind in case of natural, in case of whole and in case of integers, no fractions, no decimals. This was important. This is important. This is where most of the students make the biggest mistake, because in the exam he says x, y, z belong to integer and you are thinking about fractions, you are thinking about decimal numbers, which is wrong actually, right? So please remember, this is a very important part now. So integers basically are natural numbers plus 0 प्लस नेगेटिव्स ऑफ नेचुरल. नेचुरल क्या है, काउंटिंग नंबर है, उसका नेगेटिव क्या हो जाएगा, -1 -2 -3 -4, विच मीन्स कोई फ्रैक्शन नहीं है, कोई डेसिमल नहीं है. ऑलराइट, so please, I hope now this is very clear to all of you, right? And then after integers comes rational numbers. So as humans started settling down, so the story continues. As humans started settling down, they started dividing. They divided the lands, right? They made countries. In the countries they made states, in states they made districts, then they made villages, they divided rivers, they divided oceans. So humans have a tendency to divide, but they required how to divide. Come on, kaise divide karega? How would you divide? You need to know rational numbers. What are rational numbers? Rational numbers are numbers of the form P upon Q, where Q is not equal to 0. P upon Q, where Q is not equal to 0. P and Q, they belong to integers. P and Q, they belong to integers. And last point is HCF of P and Q is 1. HCF of P and Q is 1, right? So now decimals come into play. Somebody had a land. Suppose he had one piece of land, and he had 4 children. So he wanted to divide it equally between his children. So he said 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 1 by 4. So rational were required, right? So I am talking about settlement of the human civilizations. I'm talking about history. Maybe I'm talking about something, which UPSC students understand better, isn't it? So I hope that rational is basic understandable. Now I may tell you, because this is something we know. I think whenever I ask students what are rational numbers, only thing that they only answer that they give is numbers of the form P upon Q. No, I don't agree to that. This definition is important. Q not equal to 0, because if Q is equal to 0, the number becomes indeterminate. Number becomes indeterminate. So Q is not equal to 0. P and Q are integers. Important, because fractions can be negative, right? Fractions is not that fractions are only positive, fractions are negative as well. And HCF of P and Q is 1. This is something amazing. This is inbuilt system that we have developed since childhood. So people say, sir, we are very weak in maths, but there are few things they are never weak at. Whenever you are solving a question and you get this 10 upon 25, immediately you cancel off the common factor. Common factor is what? 5 is a common factor, so 2 upon 5. So why are you doing so? Why didn't you leave 10 upon 25 as your answer? Because whenever a fraction is written, now this is important, whenever a fraction is written, common factors of numerator and denominator are cancelled till there is no common factor. Now you cannot cancel anything from 2 and 5. So that's the reason we do not say 10 upon 25 is a rational number, but we say 2 upon 5 is a rational number, right? I hope you understood this. Kindly mark it. This is important. Clear? So now we know integers, now we know rational numbers. So my question to all of you is every integer a rational or every rational an integer? So I'm waiting for your answer, right? Every integer is a rational or every rational is an integer? Anyone? I'm waiting. Guys, come on, for first 3 categories there were no fractions, no decimals. And the 4th category itself says these are all fractions, right? So every integer, so you may note it, every integer is a rational number. Every integer is a rational number, but vice versa is not always true. every integer. So you pick up any integer, you say sir 5. 5 can be written as 5 upon 1. So it's a form of P upon Q. Right? What is minus of 18? Minus of 18 can be written as minus of 18 upon 1. Number of the form P upon Q. So yes, every integer is a rational number, because definitely integers do not contain fractions. But now every integer can be written upon 1. But every rational cannot be integer, because rational numbers contain fractions. And I was very serious when we said that these three categories do not have any fractions. So can you write it? Every integer is a rational number, but vice versa is not always true. Vice versa is not always true. So rational, as far as rationality is concerned, then comes irrational numbers. So, literate, illiterate, rational, irrational. So irrational had a very big problem. Irrational. Now, if you talk about, because most of you face a lot of English also in this paper, irrational, non-reasonable, right? Not rational, right? So many times I see, a lot of students say, sir, numbers that are not rational, and you also know it. This is definition number 1. You also know it. I also know it. It's a right, right definition. But the point is, guys, still you don't recognize irrational numbers. So what's the point of giving this definition, right? Agreed that, the name itself defines it. Agreed. Chalo, take it. Then, then they say, sir, numbers that can't be put in terms of P upon Q. Again, you're trying to go against the definition of rational, but you're not defining what is P, what is Q. But yeah, again, I take this as a definition also. Third definition people say is real numbers. Real numbers that are not rational. Chaliye, I take this definition as well. Real numbers that are not rational are also irrational. But all three definitions do not tell us by irrational number दिखता कैसे है, isn't it? Simple सा बात है कि सर irrational number की तीनों definition ठीक है, तुम लोगों को तीनों पता है, but ये दिखता कैसे है, right? So the fourth definition is the important one. Sir, decimals, can you write it? Decimals that are non-terminating and non-recurring. Now this is an amazing definition. So can you make a note of it? Decimals that are non-terminating and non-recurring would actually be your irrational numbers. Now I can actually show you what exactly is irrational number. So kindly make a note of this first. So let's see. Sir, फिर भी देखना कैसे? So देखो. Now I write a number, right? And then I ask you whether it is a rational or irrational. पहला चीज क्या देखो यार, what is non-terminating? Non-terminating क्या है? सबने वो मूवी देखा है टर्मिनेटर, सबको खत्म कर दूंगा. नॉन टर्मिनेटिंग जो कभी खत्म ना हो. व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ नॉन टर्मिनेटिंग? जो कभी खत्म ना हो, राइट? नॉन रिकरिंग मतलब जो बार बार रिपीट ना हो, ठीक है क्या नहीं? सो दीज आर टू इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स इन अ डेसिमल, राइट? सो अभी देखते हैं. मैं बोलता हूँ यार देखो ये व्हाट डू यू से ऑफ दिस 0.375 75 75 75 75 till infinity. What is this number? तुम बोलेगा सर दिस इज नॉन टर्मिनेटिंग. ठीक है सर, नॉन टर्मिनेटिंग तो है सर, कभी खत्म नहीं हो रहा है, बट इट इज रिकरिंग, बार बार रिपीट हो रहा है. देखो रिपीट कैसे हो रहा है, 0.75 75 75 75 75 ये रिपीट हो रहा है बार बार. सो दिस इज अ नॉन टर्मिनेटिंग बट अ रिकरिंग नंबर. सो जब नॉन टर्मिनेटिंग है बट नॉन रिकरिंग नहीं है तो ये क्या हो जाता है गाइस, दिस इज रिटन एज 0.375 बार, और बार वाला नंबर with a bar is always rational. Number with a bar is always rational, right? So ये irrational नहीं है, alright? So फिर what do you say of irrational number? तो इस तरह का नंबर यार 0.375 631198 70011 5132 7999 781132 and so on. लिख दिया and I've written it and it just keeps on going. Now you realize, sir, it is going till infinity, it is non-terminating. It is non-terminating and there is no regular pattern of recurrence. So it is non-recurring. It is non-recurring, non-terminating and non-recurring. Now this number is irrational. So kindly अब एक बार नोट कर लो इसको यार. This is really really important. Irrational. Non-terminating भी है, non-recurring भी है. सर पता कैसे चला इन नंबर्स का? वी विल टॉक अबाउट दैट एज वेल, राइट? सो वंस दे स्टार्टेड ट्राइंग टू फाइंड आउट रूट ऑफ 2, रूट ऑफ 3, ये सारे एग्जांपल्स हैं. ये नॉन टर्मिनेटिंग है, नॉन रिकरिंग है. आज तक नहीं पता चला, रुके ही नहीं ये, ठीक है कि नहीं? सिमिलरली लॉग ऑफ 2, लॉग ऑफ 3, राइट? पाई, मोस्ट ऑफ यू नो पाई, बट हर पेपर में लिखता है अप्रोक्सीमेटली इक्वल टू 22/7. आज तक अपने को एरिया ऑफ सर्कल नहीं पता चला भाई, बिकॉज इट इज अप्रोक्सीमेट वैल्यू 22/7, इट इज नॉट अ एग्जैक्ट वैल्यू. सो मैं सिर्फ पाई लिख रहा हूँ, 22/7 नहीं लिख रहा हूँ. एक्सपोनेंशियल, ये सारे इरेशनल नंबर्स हैं. सो कभी भी सर्ड्स क्या होता है? अंडर रूट वाले नंबर. सो सर्ड माने ये नहीं होता है कि सर अंडर रूट ऑफ 9, इट इज नॉट अ सर्ड बिकॉज इट इज गिविंग यू एन एग्जैक्ट वैल्यू. सो सर्ड इज अंडर रूट ऑफ 7, रूट ऑफ 2 + 1, ये सब सर्ड्स है. तो ये सारे इरेशनल नंबर्स होते हैं. अब सोचो कि इस तरह के बहुत सारे नंबर एग्जिस्ट तो करेंगे ही. सो इट्स अ इनफाइनाइट सेट ऑफ नंबर्स गाइस, इट इज अ इनफाइनाइट सेट ऑफ नंबर्स. सो आई होप नाउ दिस इज क्लियर. बट फिर प्रॉब्लम क्या है? सर ये बार वाला नंबर रैशनल कैसे हो गया? एंड यूपीएससी हैज आस्क्ड दिस क्वेश्चन 2 times, बट विल टॉक अबाउट इट. पहले आप इसको नोट करो प्लीज. विल टॉक अबाउट बार वाला नंबर ऑल्सो in detail so that you know there is no confusion with bar wala question at least. So then let me finish my number system and then comes real numbers. So I say what are real numbers, right? What are your real numbers? So real numbers are basically guys all numbers. First definition. Second definition, I think most of you would say yes sir, minus infinity to infinity, सारे number. And the third definition is the best definition, sir. Real numbers are rational plus irrational. Because rational plus irrational, they would cover all numbers. So kindly mark these 3 as a definition of real numbers. So now we are left with a beautiful diagram that we can draw. So let's see. देखो यार, this is a set of natural numbers. इसमें 0 ऐड किया आ गया होल नंबर्स, इसमें नेगेटिव्स ऐड किया आ गया इंटीजर्स. सो डेफिनेटली नेचुरल आर कंटेन्ड इन होल आर कंटेन्ड इन इंटीजर्स. एंड इफ यू लाइक वेट अ मिनट, लाइक लेट मी मार्क इट बेटर वे यार, राइट? मे बी दिस इज अ सेट ऑफ नेचुरल, अब ठीक है ना? एंड दिस इज अ सेट ऑफ होल नंबर्स, एंड सर दिस इज अ सेट ऑफ इंटीजर्स. Sir, every integer is a rational. Every integer is a rational. And sir, irrational are totally different. And rational plus irrational comes out to be real. Rational plus irrational would come out to be real. So this is called solar system. Oh no, this is called number system, guys. Huh? But it is equivalent to the solar system, right? So keep this thing in mind, that this diagram should always be there when in the exam they say A, B, C belong to natural, A, B, C belong to integers. Now there is a reason why they are saying so. So you cannot deny that reason. All right. So please, ये बहुत important aspect है, right? So kindly mark this as a diagram. Keep this diagram with you. It should be inbuilt in your mind. And this is very basic of numbers. And I hope that you have understood this, right? And then we will go to bar wala numbers. Now I was talking about 0.375 bar. And I said, sir, it is a rational number, isn't it? It is a rational number, isn't it, guys? ये रैशनल नंबर है. अब आपके माइंड में तो चल ही रहा होगा कि सर ये रैशनल है तो पी बाई क्यू की फॉर्म में लिखो. एंड यूपीएससी में 2 बार ये क्वेश्चन आ चुका है. यू नो दे हैव गिवन इट 2 times. सो आई थिंक दिस इज इंपॉर्टेंट, राइट? सो पहला चीज़ है, कभी भी ऐसा नंबर आ जाए, सो 0.375 बार ऐसा लिखा है. Now I'm giving you a trick. Please mark it. It is important. Giving you a trick. 0.375 bar, right, would be, पूरा नंबर लिख लीजिए, 375. 375 माइनस द नंबर जिसके ऊपर बार नहीं है, -3 अपॉन जितने नंबर्स के ऊपर बार है. जस्ट मार्क इट. देयर आर 2 नंबर्स विद बार्स. उतना 9 बना लीजिए. 9 जितने नंबर्स के ऊपर बार है उतना 9, और जितने नंबर्स के ऊपर बार नहीं है उसके लिए 0. सो आई होप यू राइट इट प्रॉपरली, राइट? सो दिस कम्स आउट टू बी 372 अपॉन 990. 372 upon 990. I guess you can cancel off. अगर तुम कैलकुलेटर पे चेक करोगे 372 upon 990, it would come out to be 0.375 बार. कैंसिल हो जाएगा. 3 से कैंसिल कर दो. 1 and 2 and 4 and this is 330, isn't it? 1 2 4 and 330. So फिर से आपका क्या हो जाएगा, देखो 3 से कैंसिल हुआ. this is 1, this is 2 and this is yes. So फिर 2 से कैंसिल कर दो यार. So 62 अपॉन 300 का आधा 150 और 30 का आधा 15, राइट? 150 जमा 15 165. So 62 upon 165 is your answer. Clear? I hope now this matches, right? This is interesting, isn't it? So I hope now you are clear with this. सर पर एक और एग्जाम्पल, we'll do one more example. एक बार इसको नोट कर लो, ठीक है? So जितने नंबर के ऊपर बार है उसके लिए 99 और जिसके ऊपर बार नहीं है उसके लिए 0. ये इंपॉर्टेंट है, एक बार नोट कर लो इसको. We'll do few more things so that you're comfortable with it, right? एक दो और करते हैं जिससे कि कंफर्ट लेवल अच्छा हो जाएगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई से व्हाट इज 0.376 बार, राइट? सो फिर से देखो 0.376 बार वुड एक्चुअली बी सर 376. पूरा नंबर लिखो 376 माइनस द नंबर जिसके ऊपर बार नहीं है -3, राइट? जितने नंबर्स के ऊपर बार है उनके लिए 9 and 9 और जिसके ऊपर बार नहीं है उसके लिए 0. सो इट इज एक्चुअली 373 अपॉन 990. 373 upon 990. Clear? Sir, one more example. Yes, we need to do more. Actually, मुझे लगता है कि you need to have a lot of examples, right? So, a lot of examples will give you a lot of ideas. All right. So, let's see. So I say 0.193 bar. Now the bar is on 3 only, 3 के ऊपर बार है सिर्फ, ठीक है कि नहीं. सो इट इज 193 पूरा नंबर लिखा माइनस द नंबर जिसके ऊपर बार नहीं है. सो माइनस 19. दिस वॉज इंपॉर्टेंट. माइनस 19. ऑलराइट. और जितने नंबर के ऊपर बार है उसके लिए 9, और जितने के ऊपर बार नहीं है उसके लिए 0 एंड 0. राइट. सो 193 माइनस 19. सो 193 माइनस 20 कर दो यार. 173 प्लस 1 174. सो योर आंसर इज 174 अपॉन 900. 174 upon 900. 174 is not a multiple of 4, so it's a multiple of 2 only. तो दोनों तरफ 2 से कैंसिल कर दो तुम लोग यार, ठीक है. तो ये आ जाएगा 87 upon 450 as your answer. Now 87 upon 450, I think 87 is a multiple of 3. See यार, डिविजिबिलिटी रूल वाला स्लाइड चेक कर लेना, डिविजिबिलिटी रूल वाला वीडियो चेक कर लेना प्लीज. तो 3 से फिर से कैंसिल हो जाएगा ये. सो इट इज 29 upon 150. So 29 upon 150 is actually 0.193 bar, right? अभी इसको नोट कर लो. And then it might be asking in your mind also कि यार ये सर शॉर्टकट कैसे आया है ना. मन में तो चल रहा होगा, दुविधा तो हो रही होगी. फिर भी एक आध एग्जाम्पल और कर लेते हैं. विच आई से सपोज 0.37 बार. तो 37 के ऊपर ही बार आ गया. अब क्या करोगे सर, पूरा नंबर लिखेंगे सर 37 माइनस व्हाट, नथिंग, क्योंकि कोई भी ऐसा नंबर नहीं जिसके ऊपर बार नहीं है, अपॉन 99. सो इट इज 37 अपॉन 99 डायरेक्ट, है ना. सो कौन सा नंबर बड़ा है, अब मैं पूछता हूं तुम्हें. 0.37 बार बड़ा है या 0.37 बड़ा है ना गाइस. सो नाउ यू अंडरस्टैंड दैट दिस इज 37 by 99 and this is 37 by 100. समझ रहे हो, right? So obviously this number is bigger, isn't it? This number is bigger. So the greater sign would actually be over here यार. ये नंबर बड़ा है. Though we are going to talk about fractions also. फिर मैं बताऊंगा नंबर्स को जब आपको fractions आती है तो कैसे बड़ा छोटा डिसाइड करना है. But I hope this is clear. So ध्यान से देखना. What you say of 0.2 bar plus 0.3 bar plus 0.4 bar. It is 2 by 9 plus 3 by 9 plus 4 by 9 which is 9 by 9 which is equal to 1. देखो यार, बार वाले नंबर्स ऐड होके भी इंटाजर आंसर दे सकते हैं. दिस इज ब्यूटिफुल. Right. So एक और सर. Now UPSC, they are very smart. They would put one level ahead, right? तो एक लेवल ahead में वो पूछता है यार what is 1.23 बार. ये पूछा UPSC ने. Put it in terms of P upon Q. Now guys, come on. Only thing, इस पे शॉर्टकट क्यों चलाना है, ठीक है. शॉर्टकट था 0 point something पे. So don't you think इसको अपन लोग ऐसे लिख सकता है 1 प्लस 0.23 बार विच इज 1 प्लस, अब इस पे क्या हो जाएगा 23 अपॉन 99. 1 प्लस 23 अपॉन 99, राइट, विच इज नाउ इक्वल टू 99 प्लस 23 अपॉन 99 विच इज 122 बाय 99. ये रहा इसका आंसर. सो प्लीज देन सेपरेट, बिकॉज यार अपना ट्रिक जो चल रहा था 0 point समथिंग पे चल रहा था, तो अब उन लोग इसको 1 point समथिंग तो 1 प्लस 0 point समथिंग लिख दो. अब तो क्लियर है गाइस, isn't it? So this is the way you have to crack. So this is the kind of question that has come in UPSC 2 times. अभी तो क्लियर है. बट अभी भी माइंड में एक शंका तो चल रही है कि सर ये क्यों, ये मेथड कहाँ से है. देयर वुड बी स्टूडेंट हु वुड बी थिंकिंग अबाउट इट, isn't it? तो देखो यार, मैं एक सिंपल सा एग्जांपल देता हूँ. ऐसे 0.187 बार या 188, जस्ट अ मोमेंट, ऐसे 0.184 बार सपोज मैं ये दे देता हूँ तुम्हें. तो सर वो आपको आंसर तो यू नो द आंसर, इट इज Sir, 184 minus 1 upon 990. Sir, it is 183 upon 990. Don't worry, answer is exactly right. The trick is okay. पर सर इसका एक्सप्लेनेशन क्या है, राइट? तो ध्यान से देखना यार, एक बार लिख रहा हूँ, लेट एक्स इज इक्वल टू 0.184 बार, विच मीन्स एक्स इज इक्वल टू 0.1848484 टिल इन्फिनिटी. ये इसको अपन लोग स्टेटमेंट नंबर 1 मान लेते हैं, राइट? इसको 10 से मल्टीप्लाई करो, सो 10x इज इक्वल टू व्हाट, 1.84 बार. सो एक बार 10 से मल्टीप्लाई करोगे तो 1.84 बार आ जाएगा, राइट? एंड इसी को सी आई मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 10. सिमिलरली मल्टीप्लाई बाय 1000, इसको 1000 से मल्टीप्लाई किया, 1000x इज इक्वल टू 184.84 बार, राइट? अब दोनों को माइनस कर दो, तो दोनों को माइनस किया, 1000x माइनस 10x, सो आई एम राइटिंग इट 1000x माइनस 10x is equal to 184.84 bar minus 1.84 bar, which means 990x is equal to 8.84 bar तो कैंसिल हो गया यार, it is 183, which means x is equal to 183 upon 990. लो, so I have given you beautiful explanation also फॉर द लॉजिक कि अपने को ये मैथड क्यों अप्लाई करना है. बिकॉज आई सिंसियरली डोंट बिलीव कि यार तुम्हें सारा शॉर्टकट ही हमेशा करना है. जरूरी तो नहीं है शॉर्टकट से ही आंसर आता है. देखो अगर ये लॉजिक पीछे है तो मे बी आई कैन फ्रेम अ क्वेश्चन बेटर देन व्हाट यूपीएससी इज फ्रेमिंग, बिकॉज एवरी ईयर दे आर गेटिंग बेटर. तो इफ दे आर गेटिंग बेटर गाइज, यू ऑल्सो हैव टू गेट बेटर यार. समझ रहे हो ना? टफ है यार, ठीक है? तो आई होप नाउ सिट दिस नंबर सिस्टम का डायग्राम बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है भाई. देखो ये डायग्राम तुम्हारे मन में रहना चाहिए, क्योंकि वहां पे बहुत बार एक्स वाई जेड बिलोंग टू रियल, एक्स वाई जेड बिलोंग टू इंटीजर, ऐसा कभी कुछ आ जाए ना, तो आई होप दैट यू डोंट गेट बॉदर्ड. ठीक है, ये आपको डायग्राम हमेशा ध्यान रखनी है. ऑलराइट, तो गाइज नाउ लेट्स टॉक अबाउट सम ऑफ द ऑफर्स. रियली 57 आउट ऑफ 79 क्वेश्चंस यार, बहुत बड़ी बात है. They were like in the UPSC mains were from our test series. That's actually, you know, really amazing, huh? So please come and join the test series. And the last mile UPSC CSE free interview guidance program is on. All of you are most welcome. We have got a lot of good experts, bureaucrats, top educators, professors. This is what you need when you're going for interviews. So I think you would find India's best panel for interview over here. Also guys, make Unacademy Civil Services Championship your next goal, and when Sachin says it, it really means, huh? So I hope that all of you come, just appear for this test. 50 MCQ, 60 minutes, November 13th, 11 a.m. Note down the date, enroll for free, and come and join Unacademy, right? So thank you so much, really happy, really proud of you. I hope that I've added good value. I hope that, you know, this lecture has been, you know, interesting enough. I'm looking for good comments. I'm looking for good views. I hope that, you know, things are really sorted out in your mind, because I sincerely believe numbers sabko aana chahiye. So guys, with that, Rishi Bhargava, my greetings to all of you. Let's crack CSAT together. At the end, I always end my lecture with Jai Hind.